Well, for this first quarter project, you are going to be making a colonial map, or really a reproduction of a colonial map. So, for example, here I have one done by one of my students, and actually, it's a map that he did of Iceland, or what Iceland was thought to look like. And of course, what I love about this is not just the shape and the color and the mountains and so forth, but I also love the fact that this map has mythical sea creatures, sea dragons, and all kinds of sea monsters, or one that's even part horse and part sea monster in it. I think that really adds an incredible amount of detail and character to a map like this. But the thing about these maps, and something that you want to be able to perhaps roll up or frame when you're finished, and something that you want to keep, I hope, that's the whole goal of these projects, to do them in such high quality that they are keepsakes. The whole purpose of these maps is I want you to know the past. I want you to know the craftsmanship of the past by studying old maps. So specifically, you're going to be recreating a map of any place, or even any battle perhaps, or any city, for example, in the Americas, so that's North or South America, you can choose from, any map that was created between 1492 and the end of the 18th century. So we'll say 1800 to make it simple. These maps, I hope, will help you understand the past, but I especially hope that these maps, since you're copying them, actually representing them as they were originally made, I hope it'll actually teach kind of a characteristic of humility for you, because you're essentially imitating a master here. This, by the way, is how all great artists, all great writers learn. They have to learn how to imitate the masters. So if you want to be able to draw or paint like Rembrandt, you have to study his works and imitate them, specifically his sketches, specifically his drawings, things like that. So that's what we're doing here essentially with this map project. Now, the first thing you're going to have to do to actually make this happen is choose a map. You'll need to look online. You might want to go to the library and find books of old maps. But if you can, find a map that's intriguing to you. There's no reason why you need to pick a map that you find dull, or pick a map that you're going to use just to get this project done with. If you go that route, this is going to be a miserable project for you, and it's going to last probably for a while for you. So I really don't recommend that. Please, pick a map that you find intriguing, whether because it has cool ships on it, or because it's of a place that you love or have always wanted to visit. Whatever you do, choose a map that interests you. Now, the second thing you need to do is part of this project is knowing the history of this map, knowing maybe who made it, or how it was made, or maybe understanding how it was actually inaccurate. I mean, there's really cool maps out there that show California as a separate island, for example, because back in the day, we really didn't have the proper understanding of geography. And there are still people today who think California should be an island, but that's another story. But the whole point is this: if you can find those intriguing maps, maybe find the story behind them, and especially know something about the place that they're representing, it'll again make this project come more alive to you. That's the second thing you're going to be doing: researching the map and researching the place that the map actually depicts. Now, the third thing you're going to be doing to make this project happen is practically you need to choose supplies. You need a good quality art paper, something that is a bit heavy, something that can take perhaps watercolor, or something that can take pen and ink very well. But your paper, besides being of a good quality, needs to be of a good size. These maps should not be small. So your paper should be at least 10 by 14 inches, or much larger. I've had students do these maps on quite a large scale before. But then, of course, the fourth thing you're going to be doing, and this really is the bulk of the work, is you're going to be reproducing the map that was originally created onto your blank piece of paper. You're going to be reproducing all those lines, all of those mountains, all of those little houses or villages or ships. If there's a key or a legend or a compass or perhaps a heraldic shield or flags or a border on your map, you want to reproduce those as well. Now, you might come across a map that you really want to do, but actually has far too much of a border or far too many flourishes. You can talk with your parents about that. Maybe you'll do a little bit less than what that map actually shows, but that would be the exception. In general, you want to reproduce everything that's on there. You just want to have fun with this. That's why I always encourage students, for example, if they can, to reproduce the ships or reproduce the sea creatures, for example, because that's what makes the map interesting just as much as the place it's actually depicting. Now, once you have completed this, these maps should be graded by your parents on several features. Number one, they should grade you on how well did you research your map and the place it was made. How well do you know the information about it? Number two, did you follow the directions given for this project? Does your map actually fit the time requirements and the place requirements given as a part of this project? Third, of what craftsmanship is your map? Did you spend time on this? Did you actually really pay attention to details? Did you really make an attempt to recreate this map as is actually seen on the original? And then fourth, this is always kind of a hard one to grade, but one I think is very important to give feedback on. What was your work ethic like during this project? Did you work on this consistently? Did you actually really pursue excellence with this, or did you grumble the whole way? You don't want to grumble, that always makes it worse. But really, have fun with this. That's why you need to pick something you enjoy. And if you don't consider yourself an artist, that's fine. The way you often become an artist is simply by doing it. So if you design a map and you do it to the best of your ability and you're not pleased with how it's done, that's all right. At least you can say that you did it to the best of your ability, and perhaps that means that you should try again. So one of the other things I often grade when I'm grading my students' work ethic is I often ask the question, how ambitious was the project they chose for themselves? Did they choose something that was bigger than themselves? Did they actually push themselves to do something greater? If so, that usually benefits them in the grading, because I recognize that even if they failed at it, if they try something excellent, then that shows a pursuit of excellence, and that's really what we're after, especially in these projects. So keep that in mind as you choose and complete this first quarter project.